More than a year has passed since we have seen the pictures of the dead body of 3-year-old Alan Kurdi lying on the shore. We have seen refugees on the motorway from Budapest to Vienna. We heard Angela Merkel's "Wir schaffen das." And we saw the pictures of a nearly endless queue of people marching on the so-called Balkan route. It was this massive movement which brought the topic of flight and migration to public consciousness. This topic is not only associated with humanity and help. One has also to consider the legal regulations which are crucial for asylum proceedings. So let us start with a definition. The UN Refugee Agency UNHCR defines: migrants choose to move not because of a direct threat of persecution or death, but mainly to improve their lives by finding work, or in some cases for education, family reunion or other reasons. Refugees are persons fleeing armed conflict or persecution. They are recognized as refugees because it is too dangerous for them to return home and they need sanctuary elsewhere. Migration forever existed. We know about the Völkerwanderung of the Goths and Huns, Arabic people in northern Africa and Spain, migration to North America. In the 20th century, during World War II, migration culminated. The deportation of Jews and forced laborers. After the end of the war, nearly 25 million people fled countries: Germans, Ukrainians and Polish people. How many people are actually fleeing? According to statistics from the UNHCR, actually more than 65 million people around the world have been forced from home. Among them are nearly 21 million refugees. Over half of them are under the age of 18. More than 55% of refugees are from 3 countries: Syria, Afghanistan and Somalia. Among the countries hosting the most refugees are Turkey, 2.5 million, Pakistan and Lebanon. In Germany, about 900,000 people sought for asylum in the past 2 years. In Austria, the number is approximately 100,000. These high numbers made us aware of the problem, because the problem still existed. In 2014, more than 220,000 refugees found their way across the Mediterranean Sea. In 2015, nearly 1 million took the risk to reach Europe via the sea. Most of them stranded on some Greek islands like Lesbos and Chios. More than 3,000 died. So what is now the legal framework according to refugees and asylum seekers? Refugees are subject to different legal regulations. First of all, there is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Article 14 says, everyone has the right to seek and to enjoy in other countries asylum from persecution. Asylum in European Union member states is regulated in the Geneva Refugee Convention of 1951, the Convention relating to the status of refugees, and the amendment of 1967. This convention defines the term refugee and outlines the right of the displaced and the legal obligations of states to protect them. One principle is the non-refoulement, which asserts that a refugee should not be returned to a country where they face serious threats to their life or freedom. A refugee is a person who, owing to a well-founded fear of being persecuted for reasons of race, religion, nationality, membership of a particular social group or political opinion, is outside the country of his nationality. In member states of the European Union there is another regulation, the so-called Dublin Regulation. It specifies which country is responsible for the assessment of an application for asylum. In most cases, it is the country where a refugee has first entered European Union territory. Normally this is Greece, Italy or Spain. If, for example, Austrian Asylum Office found out that another country is responsible for the asylum process, they can send the refugee back to his responsible country, which happens in these days very often. There are 2 exceptions. According to a judgment of the European Court of Justice, asylum seekers may not send back to a country if the refugee cannot expect a fair trial, or the overall living situation for refugees is inhumane. One example, therefore, is Greece. Besides that, every country can by itself declare that he will check whether the refugee can get an asylum status or not. This happened in Germany in autumn 2015 with Syrian refugees.